stump, boom. So there's about 60 crocodiles in here or there. They've dropped off over the last few years. But we've got a couple of big males in here. We've also got a couple of big females. Now that big girl just over there, the one behind him, we got 66 eggs out of her last year, which is an absolutely monstrous nest, the biggest nest that's ever happened on this path, which is absolutely awesome. This year, she hasn't laid yet, so we don't know how big it's going to be. Now, all of these crocodiles in here are all farm bred. They've never been in the wild. They never will go to the wild. This is where they're going to stay forever. Now, if we were to release a wild crocodile into here, he would go and kill in frenzy and go absolutely bananas. A wild crocodile, he's in the wild, so he knows what's going on with all these male crocodiles. He's going to try and get through them. And, I didn't expect it, mate. You would have got my foot. So the only reason you'll see this many male crocodiles or crocodiles in one spot in the wild is usually because of massive big things that are happening. So it might be a build-up like in the wild running away from. This guy here is super quick. You can see how alert he is. His eyes are right up, open wide, and his head's right up as well. Now this guy here, in the position he is right now, if he wanted to jump forward, obviously he'd hit the fence, but if he wanted to jump forward, his tail would start about here, and that means his head would be coming out there. They can jump a full body length in a split second. It's absolutely crazy when they do it. On the side.
Some more.
On the side. Super intelligent. There you go, down the hatch she goes. So this size crocodile in the wild, this would be the size crocodile that would come straight up to you and come looking for trouble. Out in the wild, when you get a crocodile of this size, this is when he's going out and he's trying to find a young little female like that. He's going out trying to find a bit of territory without a big male in it. And this is where crocodiles like this are either going to take a turn, they'll either get knocked off and that's the end of the crocodile, or they'll take on a big male win, and then this crocodile here becomes the dominant male of that bit of river, and he's the king pin and he owns whatever comes in and whatever goes out. It's scary. A big crocodile like Dewey, who we had on the board just before, he could own up to nearly 20 kilometres of river, and any crocodile or people or boat or anything that came into that, he can pick up because he's got these tiny little pressure sensors all around his top and bottom jaw. If you get up a little bit closer, you can see. Now this guy here, as he bites down, this guy here is creating about 2.5 to 3,000 pounds per square inch. Now all of that muscle is just in here, right in behind his big chubby cheeks, right in there, each side, big balloons. Now every time he bites down, he closes his eyes. Now this guy here has the ability to shut his eyes, and he can actually pull his eyes all the way back into about here. So the end of this stick, you're going to poke him in the eye when you're getting attacked, you put it in there, wriggle it around, it doesn't do anything at all. He's not obviously bothered by that, he doesn't know what's going on. He's got his float in his mouth. You can imagine trying to get out of this thing wouldn't be very hard at all, would be super hard. Now, he's got his nose right in front of his snoz right here, he's got two nostrils, he's got his two eyes, and he's got these two little slits right down here, just behind his eye, they're his ears. Now, crocodiles have got really good vision and they've got really good hearing. Their smell is absolutely crazy. They can smell through one nostril, and they can tell which side of the body his prey item is sitting. And with his eyes, he can look at two horizons at once. So if he's looking at something up a tree and he's looking at me over here, he can look up there and he can look straight here as well, which is pretty crazy. Now, all down his back, you'll see these tiny little lumps and bumps. Now, they're called scoops or varieties. So you can see that big guy's head sitting just there. Hopefully we can get a bit of a reaction bite out of him with this float. We can see if he wants to the party. So when they grab onto something, you'll see he's biting down, he shuts his eyes, and the first thing he does is he goes straight underneath the water. Now at the moment he's not biting down too hard. He's not biting down too hard on that at the moment. This rope isn't gone completely tight. Now when they do go seriously tight though, this rope snaps like cotton candy and it comes back right enough. Like a whip. Now these guys here, they can snap this rope, but you can see he's not putting hardly any pressure on it at all, so that means he's just trying to work out what he's got in his mouth. Now, this happens really every single day to him, so he understands what's going on. But a crocodile isn't that switched on that he knows that I've just thrown a black float in there. He doesn't know what it is. When we jump over to go and check for eggs in here, this guy here turns it on and he goes absolute ballistic. He does have a female in here. She hasn't started nesting yet. This guy in here, he's not quite a mature male yet. He's not quite the size of a big boy. Now these guys in here, the smaller crocodiles, are absolutely nuts. These guys here can get to about 35-40 kilometres over land, but that's only from here to sort of that fence just down there. Not too far. Alrighty, so this big guy in here is called Capelli. You can see his head just coming out of the water. Oh, I saw it before it happened. Look at that. What are you doing, mate? It's crazy. So this guy here came into the park and he was absolutely tiny. He was probably just over a metre long. Come on, up here. Willie, come on, come on. Not in the mood for anything, eh, mate? So this big guy here came into the park. He was absolutely tiny, had nothing going for him. Malcolm saw something in his eyes and said he's going to be an amazing show croc. Now this guy was in the off-show pens for a very long time, probably about 5-6 years. They fed him up, they got him big and strong, they put him on show. He went absolutely bananas and he was trying to eat people through the fence. He was putting weight, like massive holes in it. So he couldn't be on show. It was just a matter of time before he eventually did either eat the guide or he got out into the open. We don't need that because that's pretty gnarly when that happens. So we put him back down the back and we started training him up and feeding him and feeding him. And then this big guy here was caught about 20 k's towards the mouth of that river. Now he hasn't grown too much as he's in captivity and they don't grow too much once they come into here. So I can guarantee you this guy is full of. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alrighty, I'll see if he wants to play with his float into the boy and his float. Yeah. Now, for such a big crocodile, you can see just how far he can spin on a dot. You can imagine if he was standing anywhere near his tail, he would have just smacked his legs out from under you, and now he's going to hold you. It's not nice at all. But if you stand right here, he can't try and get you.
They like to play, aren't they?
Big head on that guy. Not a very nice crocodile to be out in the wild. That's why he's in here. All of these crocodiles along these roads have all come from the wild and been put in this park because they're just local dangerous. It's only a matter of time before they attack something. None of these crocodiles have ever attacked anybody in this park. When people get attacked in the water, that's enough reason to stop them. Alrighty, we're going to walk this down here to Kelly's pen. Bit of plastic, don't need that one. Need that one. Almost, other side. Hold the deep over there. Come on. Good at that, well done. Get another one up. Alrighty. Go. Come on. There you go. There's a jumping crocodile. Alrighty, we're going to leave this big pop. Alrighty guys, these are our freshwater crocodiles, the Dodge river crocodiles. Now, as you can see, they look very different to the big guys, especially different to Dewey. open and close their mouths in just under a second. So any fingers that go through the center of the crocodile's mouth, all over. Now we've got about 30 crocodiles in here today. They're all different shapes and sizes. That lovely popping sound you hear just there, that's the crocodile's mouth shutting. Nothing in between it, you missed it the first time. Now these guys here, they only live in Australia. Nowhere else in Australia, nowhere else in the world will you find these little guys. You can actually find them really close to Broome, out at places like Winjona Gorge, Tunnel Creek, and Fitzroy Crossing, other places like that. Now, obviously you can't go up and try and ride these guys, try and get the photos while they laugh, but these guys could actually go extinct within the next couple of years. There's an animal that was introduced into Australia called the cane toad. Now that's just a big ugly toad which got brought into Australia to actually eat off the cane meat over in Queensland in their cane Croc. Now the cane toad didn't even do that, it just looked at the cane beetle, went straight past it and started its invasion across Australia. Now as we speak, the cane toad's about 250 to 400 kilometres out of town and moving this way, but they've slowed down a lot. Over in Queensland, we've lost nearly 85 to 95% of these little guys. In Darwin, we've lost about 75 to 85%, and in WA, we're trying to see a massive drop-off as well. We're doing a lot of work with a heap of researchers trying to find out how we can stop these little guys from eating cane toads. The best way to do that, or the easiest way to get them to realise that cane toads are no good to eat, is to give them tiny little bits of poison. Now they do that with a lot of animals, but crocodiles are not the smartest things on the block. These little guys here have tiny little brains, no bigger than the size of your pinky, but you can use them very, very well. The big saltwater crocodiles, they've got a brain about the size of the end of your thumb, not very big at all, but then again, they can use it very well. Now, all of these crocodiles in here at the moment, they're all from the wild. They were brought in here because they had some wrong with them, or they were rescued. So that means they were rescued from nets and other things like that. Malcolm Douglas, when he was around, he used to go out adventuring across the top of Australia and in the Kimberley and places like that. He'd go out, capture these guys, bring them back here, and all these crocodiles have been in here since Malcolm caught them. So these little guys here, you can go and see them in the wild, but just remember, things with 4 teeth, 4 legs and lots of teeth, you go up and try and pat them, they're probably going to bite you straight away. Now, you wouldn't go up to a dog on the street if you didn't know it and go and pat it on the nose, same as these things. People still do it though and they wonder why they've been bitten. But that's enough of these little guys. We're going to walk on to our...
These guys have outgoing feet. So if they do hit you, they can even cut you, which we don't want that. And the second rule is, hold that tail nice and tight. Hold that tail nice and tight, that croc's not going to go anywhere from you. And just have your hand underneath that belly, just support it. Who wants to go first? You'll go first? Alright, one more. You can. I'll get you guys a little one out for you.
You want to hold out?
Oh. Look at the size of this one.
He's beautiful. Oh, he's not scared. Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
Come on, Ben. But you don't drop it, Ben, okay? Don't drop it.
By the tail, mate? By the tail. Hold that tail nice and tight.
Is Ellen got one?
Ellen's got one.
Oh, Ellen. Are they cold?
No.
No? Selfie with crocodile.
Hang on a minute.
Alright, good. Thank you.
9 months old.
9 months old. Wow.
Consider it